Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a quick one. Oftentimes, while I'm out doing my street photography, I get stopped by folks who, of course, inevitably want to know what they should do if they want to get into street photography. You know, what camera, this, that, what classes, things like that. And I answer the question. But I wanted to get a video up on it because I've said in a few videos over last year what beginners should do to get themselves going in street photography. I even had a 3-video series over a course of time, kind of letting folks know what they can do to get from never shooting folks on the street to being very comfortable shooting folks on the street. But when it comes to street photography in general, and this one has a caveat to it, these particular folks that I last talked to were interested in shooting film. So I said to them, and you know, the answer, and I'm going to go through that with you guys right now. But when it comes to shooting street photography, the one piece of advice that I give is concentrate when you're beginning on capturing the moment. Concentrate on being able to see things are about to happen for the type of image that you want to capture, like the kid running and he's got, you know, ice cream in his hand, or if you don't want to be that mean, just listening to what I consider your triggers, like mine is a dog. If I hear a dog barking, I'll look toward that dog and see if there's anything that's going to happen with the dog. But you want to focus on capturing the moment. You don't want to fuss with your camera. Well, when it comes to film, and I have right here with me the Pentax camera. This is the Pentax 17. It is a half frame camera, and I like it for a number of reasons, but I like it to answer the question for the guy that wanted to know about film. What should he use? Now, the reason why I am focusing on the Pentax, because or at least have the Pentax in my hand, is there's other options out there, and I have another one or two, but is that the Pentax itself has an auto mode in it. If you go ahead and look at the dial, if I can do that right, in blue on this camera, it has auto mode. It will choose the ISO, it will choose the aperture based on how this camera does aperture, which is it uses figures on it when you're shooting manual to let you know how close or how far away that the camera is going to focus based on what the focus is locked to, and it will do all of that itself without you having to do it. Now you can do it with this camera. You can put this camera in pretty much a you know, full manual setup for what this camera does manual, meaning controlling your focal distance by using the dial up front, or you know, around the lens ring and so forth, and it has some other features in there with using flash and not using flash, and getting bokeh where it uses the widest aperture on it to try to blur out the background around the subject. But honestly, the feature to me on here that's the best, that it literally turns this into a point and shoot, kind of like you do with your iPhone or your Android phone. You know, those are pretty much point and shoots. If you know, most people will use them that way. You can do that with a film camera as well. Not all of them, but there are a number of them out there that will let you set them up in automatic mode, or as I call a point and shoot type of setup, to allow you to concentrate on capturing the moment. So the other positive about the Pentax is, though, say over, and I have another camera here that can do the same thing, and it's a highly popular camera. Usually when I see this camera come up, and this is the Canon AE-1 Program, when this camera comes up in my local camera store or stores, it goes fast because of, one, how great it is, how the cost is fairly inexpensive, a couple $100. I don't think I've seen this camera over, maybe at the highest end, $250 used, and it can be in really good conditions. Mine has a little scratch right there, no big deal, doesn't matter, mess with the functionality of the camera. And the lenses on these, I have two. I have the 50 and the 35, tend to be pretty sharp too and pretty cheap. But the cool part about the Canon AE-1 program is you can put this camera in program mode, as you see on the dial. We talked about that P. And then I can turn the lens to A. I don't know, hopefully that will show. But there's an A on the lens right there, where with the A on the lens and the dial in program, this camera basically becomes a point and shoot. I still have control over focus on the subject, which I do like about this. But yeah, it's pretty much I'm waiting for the moment, focuses on it quickly, and then bam. But the Pentax is a little faster in that sense because it will focus on the subject, going from what it has as a macro setting to kind of all the way out to a landscape setting based on distance on what it thinks you're focusing on, right? So that's the biggest piece of advice I have. Now, when it comes to price, that's where things change a little, but you can go from something like the Pentax, which I believe is 500, that will get you a lot of frames. Now, this is a half frame camera. On a 36 exposure roll, you're gonna get 72 shots. The lens on this is very good. With the images that I've been shooting by, mostly been of the Pentax, I was really impressed with not only the reviews I saw of this camera, but my own experience with it. And the fact that you're really getting bang for a buck when you have a camera that can give you some pretty quality images at half frame. And again, set up in a point and shoot type of format, allow you to focus on getting the image at the time it's happening, capturing it, and getting yourself that experience first, and then worrying about taking over more control of the camera, taking over control of the f-stop and take the shutter and even the ISO if you want. If you decide to go to digital, where on a, of course, film, you have a set ISO based on the ISO of the film you have. If you want to stay there, that's a whole nother video. And then also, you can see back here up on the shelf, I do have my Fujifilm class cameras, which too can act as a fully automatic point and shoot film camera. A little more high end. Even on the used part, those cameras run anywhere from 800 and above. So when it comes to cost, I definitely say look at more or less expensive automatic film style camera, one that uses a battery, has a really good light meter in it, and honestly I've not gone wrong with the Canon AE-1 program. But if you have a couple of more dollars and you want to get more bang for buck on that roll of film, and then be able to still set a camera up to pretty much be a point and shoot like this one is, for 500 bucks you get 72 or half frame, so double the frames you get on a normal full frame film camera, and then be able to concentrate on the decisive moment. So that's it, guys. That's my number one piece of advice for folks looking to get into shooting street photography, using film and not futzing with the camera. Get you a camera that you can set up pretty much like a point and shoot and focus on capturing the moment. You guys have a good day. Have a good week. Have a better weekend and get out and shoot. See you on the next video.